Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel Visions of Vortex. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that will take you on a journey through time and emotions. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this remarkable story. Four childhood friends, Alex, Michael, Daniel, and Robert, reunited after years of separation. Their hearts filled with nostalgia and excitement as they planned a grand reunion atop a picturesque mountain. The bond they had formed in their youth remained as strong as ever, and they couldn't wait to embark on this heartfelt adventure together. The memories of their childhood were a treasure trove of schoolyard games, late-night talks beneath the stars, and the unwavering support they had provided each other through life's ups and downs. This hiking trip was more than just a reunion. It was a symbolic journey into the unknown, a chance to test their limits and deepen their already profound connection. As they chatted on the phone that memorable night, they made a pact to set a date for their great adventure, sealing their commitment to this shared dream. The day of their epic journey arrived, and with backpacks laden with supplies and hearts brimming with enthusiasm, they set out toward the majestic mountains. The hike proved to be a formidable test of their mettle, with steep inclines and rugged trails challenging their endurance at every turn. The weight of their backpacks seemed to grow with each step, and beads of sweat glistened on their foreheads as they trudged upward. Despite the physical exertion, their spirits remained unyielding. They encouraged one another with words of motivation and shared stories of their past adventures. Their laughter rang out through the dense forest, a testament to the enduring camaraderie that had brought them to this point. The forest around them teemed with life, its lush greenery and vibrant flora a striking reminder of the sheer beauty of the natural world. With each step they took, the air grew thinner and the temperature dropped. The terrain became increasingly treacherous, with rocky paths and narrow ledges that tested their balance and determination. Yet they pressed onward, fueled by a shared sense of purpose and a connection that seemed to deepen with every challenge they faced. Finally, at the mountain's pinnacle, they beheld breathtaking vistas that left them breathless. The world stretched out before them, a patchwork of valleys and peaks bathed in the warm, golden hues of the setting sun. A profound sense of accomplishment washed over them as they comprehended the magnitude of their achievement. They had conquered the mountain together, and in doing so, their bond had grown immeasurably stronger. Beneath the vast expanse of the open sky, they exchanged stories, hopes, and dreams. Vulnerable and honest, they revealed their aspirations, fears, and their collective hope for the future. It was a moment that transcended mere friendship, a rare opportunity to connect on a deeply profound level. During their hike, the group stumbled upon a worrisome sight. Michael, unconscious and in need of urgent help, lay beneath a tree. Panic surged through their veins as they rushed to his side, their voices raised in an urgent chorus as they attempted to rouse him. Daniel checked for injuries, while Alex and Robert fanned Michael gently, hoping that he would soon regain consciousness. Each minute felt like an eternity as they anxiously waited for any sign of life from their dear friend. The forest itself seemed to hold its breath in suspense. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Michael stirred. His eyes fluttered open, and he gazed around in confusion. With the help of his friends, he managed to sit up, and they offered him water and snacks. As Michael gradually regained his composure, he began to recount what had happened. He had been hiking alone at the time, and it was during that solitary venture that he stumbled upon an ancient tree with something written on it. The inexorable grip of curiosity led him to reach out and touch the enigmatic symbols. As his fingers made contact with the gnarled bark, an inexplicable and eerie occurrence unfolded before him. It was as though time itself had shifted, and he felt a potent force pulling him away. In an instant, he had collapsed to the ground, his consciousness slipping into oblivion. In the depths of unconsciousness, Michael had a surreal and vivid dream that transported him 1400 years into the past. The world around him transformed into a vibrant kingdom, bathed in the warm glow of a bygone era. He found himself immersed in the heart of this flourishing realm. He was the unwavering chief of the royal army under the wise and benevolent rule of King Edmund. The kingdom, known as Aurelia, thrived in this distant past. Its people lived in harmony, basking in prosperity and happiness. The city's streets bustled with life, adorned with colorful banners and vibrant marketplaces. Michael reveled in the camaraderie of his fellow soldiers, the loyalty of his troops, and the unwavering support of the kingdom's people. His days were filled with purposeful endeavors. Training sessions in the courtyard were a daily occurrence, where knights honed their skills with unwavering dedication. Strategy meetings in the Grand Hall were conducted with precision as they planned their defenses against potential threats. The occasional celebration of their victories filled the city with music, laughter, and a profound sense of unity. Michael cherished the warmth of his loving mother, Margaret, who resided in a charming cottage on the outskirts of the city. Her home was a sanctuary where the aroma of freshly baked bread and the sound of humming filled the air. The kingdom's prosperity brought a smile to her face, knowing her son played a crucial role in its defense. Among all the cherished relationships in Michael's life, the bond he shared with Jennifer, his close friend, was the most profound. Jennifer was a remarkable woman, known not only for her beauty, but for her wisdom and kindness. She had harbored a deep and unspoken love for Michael, a secret locked away in her heart. Michael, too, had feelings for her, but had never found the courage to express them. As time passed in Aurelia, Michael's life seemed idyllic, marked by peace and contentment. Yet, little did he know that challenges lay on the horizon, challenges that would test his loyalty, courage, and the strength of the Ouija kingdom itself. The echoes of an impending storm would soon reverberate through the streets of Aurelia, setting the stage for a series of events that would change their lives forever. Thank you for coming this far in the story. Before I move on, I have a small request. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It will be a great help in bringing more interesting stories to you. Now, let's continue with the story. The tranquility of their realm was shattered when chilling news arrived, carried by a weary messenger. The news spoke of a merciless and tyrannical neighboring king named Richard. This ominous ruler had unleashed a series of brutal invasions into nearby lands, leaving behind a trail of destruction and despair. His reputation was that of a conqueror whose cruelty knew no bounds, and his shadow cast a dark cloud over the entire region. Michael, together with his valiant King Edmund and their fellow soldiers, was summoned to defend their beloved homeland from this menacing and relentless threat. The kingdom of Aurelia had known peace for generations, and the people had not tasted the bitterness of war in years. Anxiety spread like wildfire as the news of the impending invasion gripped the land, and the once celestial skies now seemed heavy with foreboding. The kingdom rallied under King Edmund's banner, its loyal subjects answering the call to arms with unwavering resolve. The sound of war drums echoed through the valley, a haunting rhythm that seemed to match the pounding hearts of the defenders. In the fateful and heart-wrenching battle that ensued, the clash of swords and the cries of combatants filled the air. The battlefield became a whirlwind of chaos and courage as the soldiers of Aurelia fought desperately to protect their homeland. King Edmund, a symbol of hope and wisdom, led the charge with valor, his blade gleaming in the sun. But the mercilessness of King Richard's forces was overwhelming. King Edmund fell, mortally wounded by the enemy's relentless onslaught. As the monarch lay on the blood-soaked ground, his gaze filled with regret and sadness, he beckoned Michael closer. With trembling hands, he entrusted his daughter, the princess, into Michael's care. The king's voice was feeble, but his words were laden with the weight of responsibility. King Edmund whispered, "You must marry my daughter, Princess Isabella. You are the only hope for the kingdom's fragile future. Protect her. Protect Aurelia." Michael nodded, his heart heavy with grief as he accepted this solemn duty. The princess, a vision of grace and strength despite the chaos around her, looked on with tearful eyes, understanding the sacrifice her father was making for their people. With a final heartfelt farewell to his beloved king, Michael vowed to honor his last wish. When Jennifer learned of the marriage between Michael and Princess Isabella, her heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. The news felt like a cruel twist of fate, a dream she had long harbored slipping away. Her love for Michael had remained hidden, locked away in the depths of her heart, and now, it seemed, it would never be revealed. In her grief and heartache, Jennifer withdrew from the celebrations that followed the victorious battle. She mourned not only for the love she had lost, but also for the kingdom and the king who had fallen. Her eyes, once filled with joy and laughter, were now clouded with sadness. However, in the quiet moments of her solitude, Jennifer began to hear whispers of the truth. She learned of the sacrifices made by Christopher, the weight of the responsibility he had shouldered to protect the kingdom, and the love he held for his people, including her. The more she discovered, the more her heart swelled with admiration and respect for him. Jennifer realized that Christopher's marriage to Princess Isabella was not a matter of choice, but a selfless act born out of duty and love for their kingdom. Her heartache transformed into a profound understanding of the greater cause they had all fought for. With a final, heartfelt farewell to his beloved king, Christopher vowed to honor his last wish. He went to confront the cruel king, fighting with all his might, but the cruel king's army was strong. He suffered severe injuries, yet he managed to defeat all of the soldiers. However, he soon discovered that the cruel king wasn't there. A messenger informed him that a troop had entered the palace and killed all of the people. Miraculously, Princess Isabella had escaped with the help of Jennifer. The city lay in ruins. Fear gripped Christopher's heart for Isabella and Jennifer. He rushed to the city, and returning to his homeland, Michael confronted the harrowing sight of his mother's lifeless body. She had been killed brutally, a cruel casualty of the war. The grief that welled up within him was indescribable, a profound sorrow that threatened to consume his very soul. The kingdom that had been reduced to rubble was now marred by the loss of his mother, a woman who had given him life and love. Yet, despite the overwhelming grief, Christopher knew that he could not succumb to hopelessness. He had a duty to fulfill, a promise to King Edmund, and a kingdom to rebuild. At the river's edge, he discovered Jennifer and Princess Isabella, both exhausted. Two skilled soldiers readied their bows, aiming at Christopher, and the cruel King Richard was chasing Isabella and Jennifer from the other side. In an act of immense courage, Jennifer shielded Michael, taking an arrow to her heart, while another struck Christopher's right hand. With a heart burdened by sorrow and anger, Christopher brutally killed soldiers and fought with King Richard, killing him, but it was too late to save Jennifer. Jennifer asked him to extract the arrow, pleading for relief from her unbearable pain. He knew that if he removed the arrow, Jennifer would succumb instantly, but if he refrained, she would endure excruciating agony. He decided to end her suffering, so he carefully removed the arrow. In her final moments, she summoned the strength to confess her deep and enduring love for him. As he held her in his arms, she took her last breath, leaving him to grieve in profound sorrow. His cries of anguish reverberated through the desolate landscape as he, along with the princess, tenderly laid Jennifer to rest by the river. The infection in his hand left him with no choice but to amputate it, a painful reminder of the sacrifices made for love and duty. Despite their best efforts, their kingdom never fully recovered from the devastation, remaining a forsaken and forgotten place in the annals of history. After 1,400 years, Michael was reborn, and the heart-rending history remained etched in his soul. Throughout his life, he had always felt a mysterious pull to this place, as if something were calling him here. That inexplicable longing had driven him to arrange this hike, despite his lack of knowledge about the past or the events that had transpired before his time. The following day, they returned to the same tree where he had lost consciousness. There, etched into the bark, they discovered a simple yet profoundly moving declaration. Jennifer of Aurelia. With the memory of their journey and the inscription on the ancient tree in their hearts, they knew that some stories, no matter how ancient, were meant to be cherished and remembered for all time. In that moment, they shared a silent vow to carry the lessons of their past into their present, to honor the sacrifices of those who came before, and to cherish the bonds of friendship that had led them on this incredible journey through time and love. After returning from the hike, Daniel penned a book detailing the remarkable story of Michael. The book gained widespread acclaim and captured the hearts of readers worldwide. One day, a sleek black car pulled up in front of Michael's house. A young woman stepped out and knocked on his door. When Michael answered, his eyes met a face he had long searched for. It was Jennifer. She held a copy of the book about their unforgettable story. Both Michael and Jennifer, tears welling in their eyes, shared a warm embrace that spoke volumes of the enduring bond they had cherished for lifetimes. As they held each other, they knew that their shared history had brought them back together. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to watch another beautiful story, click here. Till then, I'll see you soon.